So, this is a testimony that I have that I always refer to as a lollipop moment from God. And I'll explain why. But when my husband and I first split up, and I went through the hardest trial of my life, I was living with my nephew in his basement apartment, and I couldn't find a job for like a year. I was a single mom. I was struggling really hard. And it was just a very hard time in my life. And I had always had Coach purses since I was 18. I've always had Coach purses. And I don't mean lots of them, it's just the purse that I carried was always a Coach purse. And I love them. And when I was living there with my nephew, my purse broke. And, the zipper wouldn't work anymore. And I didn't feel comfortable using the purse anymore because someone could just easily steal my wallet out of it. So I was thinking one day, okay, well, I can't get a Coach purse because I can't even afford gas. So, what was I going to get? I guess I could get a purse at Walmart or Marshall's. I just need to get like a cheap $20 purse. And, I was thinking that, God probably didn't like that anyway, and thought I was greedy or materialistic because I liked Coach purses. So it would be better for me as a Christian anyway just to get a $20 purse. So that day I had an appointment with my social services worker because I was on food stamps at the time, and my social services worker was a Christian. So each time that we met, we would just talk for like sometimes a couple hours just about God and the things that he's done in our lives. And we just really enjoyed talking. And this day, it was the same. And we were just sitting there talking and talking. And all of a sudden she goes, "I want to give you something." And I was like, "Okay." And she said, "God told me to give you a gift." And I was like, "Okay." And she said, "It's a purse." And I was so kind of shocked that she even said that because of my my thoughts earlier that day about getting this purse, that I was kind of like, it was hard for me to even pay attention to what she was saying because I hadn't told anybody about this. And this woman gives me a used but brand new looking baby pink Coach bag. And I was just so shocked. I mean, my jaw could have hit the floor. I could not believe it. And I was like, I know that God told you that because this is what was going on in my mind this morning. And I told her the story. And I was so shocked when I left there, that happened at all. And that God did care about me having this Coach bag. And, it completely changed my perspective on, God and things that we have. There's a big difference in when you actually are a greedy person or materialistic, or, there's some things you like to have that are nice. And, I thought about, how we are with our own children. And it's not like we go and try to find the cheapest, most humble gifts for our children because, we want them to stay humble. No, we want to give our kids the best, and we want to give them things that they like and things that make them happy. And, God gives even better gifts to us than we give to our own children, like Matthew 7:11 says. And so, that really changed my perspective on what kind of things God wants me to have. Um, but not just that. I was thinking, even though I was very excited, I was thinking, God, I'm living in my nephew's basement right now. I don't have a home. I don't even have a job. I have much more pressing matters right now that I need you to attend to. Why are you giving me a coach bag? I'll trade it in if you can give me a job. And, it was later that I've come to understand that, what I was going through at the time was training for me for ministry. And it was, one of my wilderness seasons. And it was something that I had to go through. And I realized that that gift that God gave me was similar to when you go to the doctor's office as a child, and let's say you have to get a shot, or you broke a bone and it has to be set. Whatever it is, it's something painful that you have to go through, but it's for your good. And because you have to go through that pain, the doctor gives you a lollipop to make you feel better. And that's exactly how I felt about that situation. Yes, I had more pressing matters at the time. I needed a job and I needed a home, and, all those things did come. But God was using those moments to build my character, to build my trust in Him, to change me. And the coach bag was just a lollipop because He wanted me to feel better in a situation that was very painful, but still for my good. And I just really enjoyed that experience with God. And if you have any experiences like that yourself, maybe you could share them with others to encourage them when they're going through extreme trials and suffering. That God will show up in these little ways sometimes, and in the midst of that awful pain that's good for you, that He might just give you a lollipop.